Oh, I forgot.
It's still so hot here, Lana. I finally made it back, and I'm just here to say that it's still very hot here on this island. That's all I have to say.
Wonderful. I forgot about that. But hello, and hi, and welcome to The Cup TV, part of the Cup Network, where we put the real and the tea at reality, and we can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, sip the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you all know what to do. Hit me up because hydration is important on the island. I am drinking water because yes, we have to stay hydrated. I was gonna make some tea because they all had some iced tea there on the island all the time, but
tea time.
It's tea time. It's tea time. But
tea time.
Iced tea time. But But if I was drinking anything else besides some tea, probably I would be drinking out of my cup mug. And you can get your cup mug at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically here in the US and Canada and Mexico. And we are back to shipping internationally. So there are no excuses. So get your cup merch, not just the cup mug, but any of our cup merch. Check out the link down below. Thanks.
And I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. I've been, here sometimes for this season of Deal or No Deal Island, but I have loved this season nonetheless. And I'm drinking water because it's very hot here where I live and also on this island that we're still on for just this last recap. So.
And we have two amazing guests with us today. You know them. You've seen them. They were dealing. They actually were on the island. Like we talking like we've been on the island. They were actually on the island. So y'all know who it is. Welcome Kim and Miranda back to the Cup TV.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you.
It's so good to have you both back. It's been amazing. First of all, let me just say thank you because both of your interviews have done so well for our channel, and we appreciate you so much for coming on our little channel and talking and giving your insights on Deal or No Deal Island. It was the best, and it was just a blast just getting to talk to you both.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us on.
Of course.
We appreciate it. So much fun.
Good.
Absolutely. Now we want to talk. Like I said, we keep it casual, keep it cute here at the Cup, and we just want to talk about. We're going to do a recap of the finale of Deal or No Deal Island. This is going to be our recap episode. But first, I know, sad. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, it's sad.
It is sad, but I mean, they'll be back. I'm sure of it because this season is so amazing. They got to come back and try to do it again. But before we got, they have to.
They've renewed it. We got the official announcement. It's renewed.
We're looking for new faces, guys. Season 2.
Absolutely. So we go do this again next season. But before we dive into it, let's get the business part of this out the way. Hit the subscribe button. Y'all know what to do. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our great content coming your way. We got a lot of reality and maybe non-reality things happening on this channel because our reality competition season is boiling down a little bit. So we go maybe bump it up with a little scripted TV. So the Cup TV is going to talk about all TV, not just reality TV. But also, we have 3 other channels. Y'all know what they are. Ringside, Eurovision, and our main channel talking about drag, Eurovision Song Contest, and wrestling. All those links will be in the description below. Hit those buttons and check them out and subscribe to all of our channels as well as our membership channels here on YouTube or on Patreon if you choose to do so, and get all the early access things and exclusive content from all 4 channels. So hit all the buttons that you support us, and we appreciate you. All right. I want to get past that because I'd rather get right into this. Deal or No Deal Island, the finale. Now, Kim, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
How did you feel watching this back after being on the island, watching the finale? We watched the whole the first part of the finale was the excursions and watching Jordan and Amy and Stephanie and Rob going through this whole thing of this as Logan calls it, the creepy maze.
I hated this maze. I hated this maze. I would like to have it known. I hated this maze. I would have hated doing it, but I would have done it. But I would have hated it.
You would have hated every minute of it, but you would have done. You know what? I thought the maze was really challenging. With the dead ends that they had carved into it, getting back to Kamari and Ben to get a key, and then back over to get the case, and the decision of, do I go for a high value case or do I go to get the lower value case but get back faster because the first person or the last person back is eliminated, but also the lowest case value is eliminated. And they really didn't say, like there might have been one or two of those lower case values that were higher than the lowest case values in the high side of it.
Right.
So it comes down to instinct and making that decision and racing your butt off. I felt so bad for Amy she's so tiny. She's only 5 foot. And it's not like she's 5 foot with long legs. Right, she's 5 foot with short legs, and going over the hurdles. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad for her, and you could tell she was absolutely gassed.
Yeah.
And never gave up. Never once gave up. So good for her.
Absolutely.
Seeing Steph and Jordan with their long legs, and they had Stephanie definitely had a little bit of a lead over Jordan. And then, of course, with that puzzle, which, by the way, I would have killed that puzzle because I literally walked up and down the beach every night. I could have told you how much each case was, the total amounts of the cases, the numbers that were in them, just all of that stuff. And so that would have been my puzzle. Now the running, whole nother story, but that was so good on Amy. She also studied the numbers, so she was at least in the ballpark. And Rob, I know he's Boston Rob, but he is a puzzle fiend. If you've ever seen him on Survivor, he is a puzzle fiend, and he cheated.
I was gonna say we gotta dive into that. He gets a full-on penalty, and I see where he was coming from with it, because that is a very Survivor thing. We literally saw it on the Survivor episode that happened this week, where people were looking over at a puzzle. So it's very common. I understand that, but
this isn't Survivor.
It's not Survivor.
And the rules clearly stated when Joe said it. It was like, you can't look over at the other person's puzzle. And
and here's the other thing. He used the excuse of, I was thinking, I was planning how to do it. I wasn't listening. So when we get to the excursions, right, we can kind of see the layout, but we don't really know exactly what the excursion is. Production goes over the rules, okay? They go through every bit of the rules. They tell us exactly what they are. They allow time for questions and answers so that everybody's getting the same information. And on camera, recorded with our mics on, we have to raise our hand and say, yes, I understand the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll guarantee you he heard those rules at least twice before, plus Joe. Okay. Yeah. And so that for him, I would say, he probably got in his own mind and this is the way it was in Survivor. But yeah, I personally, I think he got off easy with a 3-minute penalty. Because in Survivor, if you cheat, if you extend the rules,
it's
right?
DQ.
They DQ you, they throw you out. And you usually only see it happen early in the seasons. So if he had been disqualified, he wouldn't have crossed the line with a case. Therefore, he would have been out of the game right there.
Right.
So personally, I think that he got off easy with a 3-minute penalty.
Absolutely.
I think so too.
I think though they wanted that 2-person elimination, so that's why they didn't disqualify him, because it might have ruined the situation on what they were going for. But definitely, I understand his notion. Like even with Jordan's super, super smart, and I'm the same way. I'm a puzzle person. I love doing the puzzles on my phone. But in that moment, when I saw Jordan, she just had like this mental block, and I felt that 100%, because there are things that I'm 100% like can do blindfold, but like under pressure, your brain just goes out the window. And for her doing it visually on the sand, I was like feeling every moment. I just knowing, I was like, that's so smart, you know? And then also the thing with like Rob kind of peeking, like he definitely was just trying to get away with it. I think so. I think it's just, he did it. When I saw it, he kind of really moved himself over there, but you have we had a lot of cameras around us. Yeah. Maybe he thought he would get away with it or something, which I probably might have wanted to try too, but you know, but in that moment you want to, they're so close to you.
Yeah. If he didn't, even if he was not paying attention, didn't hear whatever, they had the sides on the puzzle, plus those circular partitions, so you couldn't peek over at the other person's puzzle.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
I would have.
There was nothing.
Flipped my stuff. Like in Survivor, they hide their answers because they're allowed to see it. For me, I would have done process elimination. That's the only thing I would have done. I would have done groups of 10, like start with 50, go up and
right.
Go from there, because
that's probably what I would have done as well, is like if I had a solid enough grasp of like a chunk of like 50 to 80 or something like that.
Process elimination. I would start with like 10 cases an episode, and then go from there, add what I can and stuff. So it all depends. But yeah, process elimination is pretty fast. But it was just, I think it was under the pressure, and just the 2 eliminations. Oh my gosh, that was insane.
Yeah, I really think Rob was just trying to find that loophole of just trying. And I think he might have heard the rules. He probably heard the rules. Like you said, they had plenty of opportunity to hear. He did the I understand. But when you get down to the time and the pressure starts, and you're like, I just need to get out of here.
Right.
Amy's gone. And he's like, oh no, one more person leave. I'm in 3rd place. I just think he just got into his own way and his own head and was like, let me just figure this out. And how do the best way to get around it? And I don't know it. I'm going to look. And I'm sure the minute he did it, he was like, God,
You can
see because it was like you do stuff and you're not trying to get caught, but you know that was the wrong thing to do. And we've seen it in other competition shows, including even cooking shows where they're like, okay, the time is up in 3, 2, 1, and they throw that last ingredient on after the hands are supposed to be up. You're like, why did I just do that? I didn't need to throw that on there. It didn't need it. But he was like,
and here's the thing. I thought, so the penalty was from the time that Amy left to the time the next person would leave.
Yes.
And then when the last person leaves, then the penalty gets added.
Yeah.
I was shocked that Rob didn't yell out, the answer is 75.
Right.
Because if he had done that, then Amy would have had her head start, but Stephanie would have probably been less than a minute behind Amy, and Jordan would have been, so he probably only would have had to wait for a minute instead of 3 minutes.
Right.
I was waiting for him to yell to them. The answer is
cheating. Is that
I think that actually probably would have then probably caused a DQ, because I was thinking about what you were saying, Miranda, about like if he was completely disqualified in that exact moment. I feel like the challenge still would have run, but it would have been, okay, go grab whatever case you want. All three of you are, of course, going to cross the line, the first three people, because Rob is DQ'd, and then we'll see who has the lowest number case, or the lowest amount in their case, and that person ends up being the second person eliminated. But it ultimately doesn't end up mattering, because Rob is the last person to make it back with a case. He ends up fourth. I can't say I'm not happy about that. I gotta be honest. I was happy to see it. I've said all season, I respect Rob. He's just not my favorite reality TV person in the world. But to have these other three fabulous ladies get the opportunity to be the final three, and have for sure someone that hasn't already won money on a reality show before, we're guaranteeing that somebody else was able to get that. For me, I was thrilled with that.
Yeah.
And Jordan, Stephanie, and Amy were three of my absolute favorites this season, along with both of you, of course. But but I was happy in that moment that at least money was going to someone who hadn't won money on a reality show before.
Absolutely. So that was my whole thing. I was like, I like Rob as a person in this game, and as a reality star, sure. But I was like, this isn't Survivor. This is Deal or No Deal Island. And I want you, Rob, to be king or whatever of Survivor. Like, you have that. But I want somebody new to be the queen of Deal or No Deal Island. And it was perfect to see that happen, and to see these three amazing ladies in this race, in this whole excursion on top. And it's like, all right, now at that point, I don't care who won. I was happy for any of them to win at this point. And it was just good to see.
All girls. It was great. You know,
I love that.
Absolutely. Same.
I love that. I just really wanted to see a woman win season one. And because look at all these other reality shows, women never win the first season.
Yeah.
Big Brother, it was Eddie. Survivor was Richard Hatch.
House of Villains was a woman.
Was a woman.
House of Villains season 1 was a woman. Because Tanisha won. So I was trying to think of examples, because I was thinking, and I'm like, no, you're 100% right. Like for the most part, it is a very male dominated like initial season. The only two examples I can think of are House of Villains and Big Brother Canada.
BB Can, Jillian won the first season.
Even though Gary should have, but it's fine.
By mistake.
By mistake.
She won the first season.
She still did win, but
should have been Gary Glitter. Yeah, it was Topaz put her vote in wrong, and because of that, Jillian won. But yeah, no, it's very male dominated. Overall, the numbers, period, are very male dominant. And so I was thrilled when it was women for the final three, because then no matter what, a woman was winning our inaugural season. And I was thrilled about that.
Yeah.
And
I'm thrilled about the woman who won.
Exactly.
I'm so thrilled about the woman that won also. And I find it interesting also seeing the second elimination that happens in this excursion being the person that maybe went up against Rob the most on this season. We see Stephanie end up getting third.
Yep.
And I was like, that in a weird way feels poetic. Where if Rob is going to go out in the first part of this excursion, and then to see Stephanie be the one with the lowest case, and she goes out as well, I was like, there's something poetic about that. And I would have loved to see Stephanie win also, but again, so thrilled for Jordan.
And Rob didn't get Stephanie out. Rob was that's the good thing about Stephanie, is that the whole time they were kind of going at it. Rob wanted Stephanie out, and Stephanie did not get out because of Rob, nor did she get out because of anybody except for time and having a low case, which was luck. So you know what? Good for you, Stephanie, and you went all the way and did not let Rob get you. So and same with Amy. I mean, Amy went to the number 2, and everyone's calling her bully and mean, and like she's got the shortest legs, the shortest arms, like, and she went from final 2, so they can all eat that.
I love that. Like, I was so thrilled. I was like, because my favorites of, like, well, not favorites, but like Stephanie was somebody who I was like, yes, I really like how she plays this game. I really like what she's doing, even when she was being messy, and even when she was trying to get Nick to go after Rob, which he was probably already going to do anyway. But I understood why she did it. I was like, I don't think it was necessary to do it, but I understood why she decided to do that, just to hedge her bets. I mean, like, just in case Rob gets in Nick's ear and tries to twist some things up. And because she knew who she was going against. And Rob is somebody who could possibly manipulate somebody into doing what they wanted. So I understood it. Did I think she was mean and a bully and all? No, I just thought she was playing the game extra hard. And that's what everybody on that island should have been doing, is playing the game hard. And she was playing the game hard. What I loved about this final 3, though, is everybody's story of why they were going to get this money was something I was like, oh, let them have this money. Like, I would have loved for Stephanie to win this money so she could open up a birthing center here in Alabama. That would have been amazing. And I would have loved Amy to get this money so she could have this money for her family and her kids and set them up in a situation where they don't have to worry about anything. Lovely. And then I would love for Jordan to get the money so she could start her family, which she is. And I'm like, yes, I love that. So everybody's story, and even Rob's story, Rob was like, even though he had the money from the from Survivor and things like that, I'm sure that's not all still there, and he probably needs to re-up some things. But he has a family. This man has a family with 4 daughters and a wife. He has to take care of his family, and he was out here doing this thing for his family. So I'm like, everybody in this game had a story that I was like, I could get behind. Doesn't really matter who wins. I can get behind all of them. And it was so good to see that. It was so good to see that.
It really was. And everybody, whether you saw the story or not, because let's face it, there were some shortchanged edits towards the beginning of the game. Specifically,
our winner.
You look at Jordan, where you really didn't know much about Jordan until you got to the end. You know, the last 3 episodes, really. Miranda, you didn't see much of an edit for her. You didn't see much of Jamil. You know, things like that. But I can promise you, everybody out there had a reason, had a driving force and a motivation to win. And, you know, it came down to, I won't even say that it came down to who wants it more, because that's not it. Everybody had their own motivation to win. And absolutely thrilled that Jordan pulled it out. I would have been just as happy if Amy had pulled it out. But that, let's face it, the last 2 minutes of the show, we didn't know, by the way. You guys, we just saw her in February in New York. None of us knew. The only one who knew was Nick, because he had a really good friend of Jordan's was on Next Level Chef, and a good friend of Nick's was on Next Level Chef. And they had an event down in Nashville. Nick went with his buddy, so he saw Jordan, and she was just starting to show. And so Nick was, all the rest of us saw it on TV, and we were like,
oh, wow.
It was a good surprise. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because we talk all the time. Like, there's all the time. Like, and she's good. Good at keeping them secrets.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And like you said, people who didn't have edits. I didn't find out fully about Miranda's story until she was here on the show, and was like, oh,
I didn't either until I watched the interview with Miranda. And I was like, everything makes sense.
Story that makes sense. Oh, I would have loved for her to get to the end. Edited TV. What can you do about it?
Me and Jordan had somewhat of the same thing. Like even Rob and Aaron said, I wasn't a target. I just was somebody who didn't have a target on their back. Everybody else had targets on their backs and stuff, and I just didn't because even though Nick, I'll tell you this, Nick, what we did in our tent, me, Nick, and Amy, he would come out of the tent and he would go talk to Rob, and then all the intel he got from the Rob and everybody, he would come at nighttime and tell me and Amy. So I want to say he was a part of Rob, but kind of secretly not. We tried to pretend that we weren't really all in alliance, but every time at nighttime we would talk about what we would do, and then he would give us the details on what Rob is saying, and so we were kind of, going from there and trying our best to keep Rob on our good side, because we didn't want Rob to know that we didn't trust him, and Rob kind of didn't know if he could trust me or not anyways. Even Aaron, you saw in that episode, he's like, he was going to put Stephanie up to get the key, but as soon as Stephanie mentioned Alyssa, he's like, I can't do that. I have to put Miranda, because maybe Miranda, and they all assumed I was gonna, beat the banker and get Stephanie out. And he said that he assumed that I was upset with Stephanie after that challenge, where she did not take immunity from Rob and the whole plan situation. And I told him, I was like, that was your mistake. I wasn't mad at all. I was like, that was their plan that failed. I said, I'm still in the game. I didn't have a target on my back. Totally understood about some sort of a plan. Didn't know it was a 2-day plan. But that was the moment where Aaron had thought that everybody was mad at Stephanie and kind of used that as a hanger. So didn't work.
I wasn't mad at Stephanie.
No, you weren't.
I wonder why, Kim.
She didn't take immunity. Like I understand that, but how
I wasn't
do you
mad
plan
at Stephanie.
There's a steal? The whole plan. I don't know when this plan was made, but how do you plan on getting a steal when you don't even know? I think the plan was if you get a steal or something. I don't know, but how do you?
The original plan is if somebody hits the steal, that they were going to steal from me to make sure that I was in the bottom.
But how did we know there was a steal?
Huh?
How did Alyssa even know that there was going to be a steal in the game? There's not always a steal in the games.
I think they were operating under that assumption, and then at that excursion, it was from what I understand from the edit, it was well, if there is one, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that Kim is in the bottom. And once there was a steal up for grabs, it's okay, someone grab the steal from Kim. We make sure Kim is in the bottom too.
And then she's picked to go against the banker.
Right.
That's what they kept saying.
That was weird because Kim's good. She already beat the banker.
Right.
Exactly.
I
think I said that same thing in the episode. I was like, send Kim against the banker. Because honestly, I think Kim stands the best shots, because I think Kim's instincts right now are probably some of the best out of anybody on the island.
That could have been a good plan if Kim got the bottom 2, right? But she didn't even get bottom 2. I think she got out of the bottom 2 because of Aaron and Nick.
Well, because Stephanie stole Claudia's case at her insistence, which put Claudia at the bottom 2. And then Alyssa and Aaron were going to throw it.
But that's what I don't understand is Alyssa said she was going to throw the game. How do you throw the game? But
they weren't going to go up.
All you had to do was not go up or throw it to the left.
No, we had the option to not go up. If someone was scared of going up, you had the option to not go up.
Right.
Alyssa and Aaron were not going to go up. But when Stephanie took Claudia's at Claudia's insistence, right? That puts me and Claudia in the bottom 2.
Okay.
Right there.
So then she had to go up?
Personally, if they wanted their plan to succeed, Aaron and Alyssa should not have gone up there, right? Mm-hmm. It would have been me and Claudia in the bottom 2 with Rob having the $1 million case, and he was going to put me against the banker, right? I don't know.
He might have put it if he trusted Claudia more.
No,
you don't think he'd put Claudia?
He 100% was putting me in against the banker because I beat the banker the day before.
He had immunity too.
Remember that? And it's so
makes sense.
Really, the fail in all of this was when Alyssa and Aaron, instead of not going up and throwing it, Alyssa and Aaron both went. Aaron only got 45,000, which put him in the bottom 2 with Claudia.
Yeah.
Which then made it so that definitely it's going to be Claudia. If they had been smart and really wanted to execute their plan, the 2 of them would not have gone.
And I thought the plan was just them 3. They came to tell us what they were going to do. And then all of a sudden, that's why you see me pipe up to Stephanie, because I'm like, take the lowest case. Because there was like 10, 15 minutes of her just wondering, people are talking, and I was getting fed up. And I was like, go with the plan. And that I had no idea that Stephanie knew that she knew about the plan, but she didn't want to go with it. So in my head, I was, I was like very confused as to like why your guys made this huge 2-day plan and it blew up. But I think Rob tried to change it on them or something. And Stephanie, when Rob changed it on Alyssa, Stephanie was like, oh no, I don't want to go with this plan no more. And I think that's what the issue was.
She didn't want to go with it in the first place, but she was going along with it because just like Survivor, Big Brother, you don't say no.
Don't say no to the plan.
Because then the target's on her because she's not playing along. But they had a couple of really fatal errors there in that, again, once Claudia chimed in, all they had to do was not go and I'm in the bottom 2, period. Yeah. Instead, they go, Aaron gets the smaller amount. It becomes then Claudia and Aaron, and Claudia's going against the banker. The other thing was Alyssa saying it's everybody or nobody. All she had to do was say that she didn't want to do it. Amy didn't even know about the plan. Okay. So that was ridiculous. And then the plan changed up when Rob goes, but there's 2 steals out there.
Right.
What if a second person gets a steal?
That would have been epic.
It would
have been great.
I would have loved
it's kind of like at the same time, if Stephanie had stolen Rob's case, she didn't want to put a target on herself by taking the biggest case. But if she had stolen Rob's case, it would have been Stephanie deciding between Claudia and Rob who plays the banker.
So
we all know where
would have
Stephanie
chosen. I think she would have chosen Stephanie or Claudia to go up against the banker.
No, it would have been Claudia or Rob with Stephanie having the $1 million and being the one who decides.
I think she would have picked Rob.
I think
she 100% would have put Rob up.
And then who would have Rob got out?
Rob probably would have pointed at me.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because at that point in the game, it was so early, and Rob's only true adversary at that moment was Kim, besides Stephanie, who was immune. So it would have been Kim an episode earlier than Kim went.
Exactly.
So,
but getting back to this finale, because
yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry, we went all over the world.
I love scenarios. I love it.
Let's circle back to the finale. Circling back, we see that Stephanie is out. She has $3 million in her case, with Amy has 3.7 and Jordan has 3.5.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what case Rob got.
He got the highest case.
He had the highest case.
I think he got 4.
He got 4?
He had the highest case.
I think
which
so.
is so weird because every challenge, it's like he had the highest case.
Yep.
Seriously.
Isn't it incredibly convenient, Miranda? I'm not saying anything.
No.
He's got a horseshoe up his ass.
Well, hold up. Let's talk about
Amy
and her X-ray visit. Okay.
Yes, X-ray vision. We're going to talk about that when we get to the temple, because, baby, I was like, oh, Lord. But so Stephanie's gone. It's Amy. It's Jordan. They go to do the next part of this whole excursion of it all, which is you climb this high pole, you get on these wires, and you have to go across going through these ropes, and the first person to get to the red rope wins.
Right.
And if you fall off, you got to start over and keep going. Ooh. And Amy, first she starts, and she's like her little legs, like we talked about, her little legs, and she's shaking, and Jordan is trying to take her time. She's like, oh gosh, okay, I don't want to fall. And Amy falls, Jordan falls. They go back up there and do it again, and Jordan is gone. Like, she's moving. I'm like, okay, Jordan, I see you.
All right, Jordan.
All right. And Amy is like, look, there's no way I'm going to beat her if she is standing on this rope. So I need her to fall. So she starts shaking the rope. And I was like, that's smart.
Honestly,
so
like I have two parts to that. If she was gonna go all ahead and do that now, I would have leaped on that rope and just boom. If that's what if that was the case, for her, because that was good. That was good. I was showing it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a competition. If I was up there with my brother, he would have done the worst to me. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you can't like I said, Amy was not there to win friendships. She was not there to win relationships. She was there to win money, and there was no rules against it. So I respect it. I would have respected it more if she'd thrown her whole body weight and literally just because that little tap on the thing wasn't doing too much to Jordan.
No. Right.
And Jordan wasn't even really mad. Jordan
jumped on it.
Fueling. She could have jumped, and even if she fell off, if she knocked
Jordan off with her,
then they're starting over fresh,
both together again. I mean, if I was in that position and I was Amy, I would have tried a little bit more devious things. Mm-hmm. A little bit more.
Oh, baby, I would have been stumping so hard on that rope.
Right.
That would have been like whoop, whoop, whoop.
More chaos.
It would have been.
Hey, I'll take my shoe off, throw my chancla.
Not on the chancla.
Get down from there.
I would have been on the base part, and I would have just got on my knees and just started shaking the rope. Just start shaking it. I would have went Ultimate Warrior on it. Just
and hey, if Jordan still won after that, good for her. But
good for her, girl, because she.
Amy needed that extra little help. When we did the archery, the hunter and gatherers, in order for her to get up there and shoot that arrow, she had to have an extra box of height.
Oh,
okay,
no.
So there were moments where, there were some moments where nothing was really made for somebody that short, and they had to give her some different options. So she really made the best out of everything she had in her.
I love that. When she did it, I was like,
You better.
Girl. You better. This is what you got to do to win this kind of money. That's $13 million. That's a lot of money.
Shot. It was a
50 shot. I would have did everything in my power to knock her off that thing. And anybody in my like you say, it's $13 million, and one person is in your way of getting it. So how I'm gonna do it? I just got to knock you off your pedestal. And so it was. I commended her for doing it. It didn't work. But it was, she tried, but Jordan came and grabbed that rope, and I was like, all right. And I want to just say, I called this 3 weeks ago. Like a few weeks before, I was like, Jordan's gonna win this game.
She's getting them winning edits.
And Logan was like, what do you mean she's not getting the winner's edit? I was like,
I think
that's why she's gonna win it, because they're not spotlighting her enough. And then she's still sticking around, and nobody's looking at her. Nobody was looking at Jordan. She was on nobody's
Rob did that one time.
And then she quickly switched it, and she quickly shifted it from off of her to somebody else. Where I was like, well, Jordan's not that bad. And he was like, let me focus back on Stephanie. It was just so wild to me. I was like, oh, Jordan's winning this game. And when she grabbed that rope, I was like, I knew it.
Not to piss people off works. Don't piss people off. Sometimes you get $1 million.
And here's the thing also, she was never in the bottom two. So she was never she never won an excursion either. Yeah. And she never
was up against the banker. Never. Yeah, that was her first time playing against the banker, but she never was bottom two.
And because there was no controversy surrounding her, she was also, no matter who was playing the banker, they were not going to take out Jordan. They were going to take out me. They were going to take out Amy. They were going to take out Stephanie, or they were going to take out one of the two bigger threats, physical threats, with Nick or Dawson. That's 5 people that they're looking at taking out before Jordan's name is even brought up. Yeah, you betcha. She did the smart thing, sitting in the middle for all of that
the whole time.
Yeah.
I was curious to see
if she got the $40,000 offer. I wonder if she would have taken it though too. You know?
Right.
Because to me, I mean, like I was physically up there, mentally up there, but when I saw the 40,000, knowing that I also took the 20,000,
right.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I had a goal, and I was like, man, I think the worst part is going home with nothing.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't deal with that feeling, especially going home alone.
That.
Like I don't have a family, kids, boyfriend, nothing. I have me and my puppy dog, and so I just wanted to be able to have something, and it was
good.
I was like, absolutely, Miranda, take the $40,000.
Right. Some people were like, no, like, why would you do that? No. Taxes is going to take all of it. And I'm like, listen, it's because I came home with something. Okay.
Right.
Look at Rob came home with nothing. Aaron came home with nothing.
A bromance.
Nick, Aaron came home with a bromance, but not any cash in his pocket.
You're right.
Jamil got nothing.
Branson, nothing.
Branson got nothing.
Claudia, nothing.
I think that's all.
Yeah, Claudia got nothing. Alyssa got 20,000, the same as because she climbed up the tree, which they only showed her. Not sure why they didn't
you're right. Claudia didn't get anything either.
Right.
So it's like
me, Dawson, and Amy won $75,000.
Yes, she won $75,000.
Yeah, he got $85,000.
Yeah, because I split my $20,000 with Amy.
Same with Stephanie got $10,000 because Nick split the $20,000 with her. Alyssa got the $20,000 because she did not split the $20,000 with me.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so
you did come home with $10,000 as well.
Huh?
You came home with $10,000.
Yes,
well.
from the very first
experience. Branson. No, actually not really, because you did choose to go out there by yourself. But you
did. Yeah.
And you were going to get that $10,000
I was getting $10,000 no matter what because I was going for the other case, but it was further away.
That was the craziest part to me because
so it didn't matter. Branson wasn't getting me $10,000.
No, you got it.
But Branson made it easier for me to come in with a case.
Yeah.
By pulling that in closer.
With the steal. Oh, girl, not only did you get 10,000, you got immunity that day.
Immunity that week too. I was like,
Killer Kim with it.
Period.
I was like, yes, Kim, yes, Kim, yes, Kim.
Right. Like
that was my thing. I was like, when he offered that $10,000, I was like, oh, I would have took it too. I would have like,
I did not see her as a frail old lady, man. When she came in that first episode, $10,000, took immunity from Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm like, we know Kim, and I'm like, I know Kim to do that. When you went out and did that, Kim, I was like, no, that's exactly what Kim would do. I know exactly. That makes complete sense.
So smart.
There was no downside. I already knew I had the smallest case. I only had 7,000 in the case, and with all these other people that had gotten up on the platform early, it's like, why are they up there early? Why? Because they've got the bigger cases, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And Dawson did the smart thing by owning up to the million because it would have been the first 5 on the platform were Dawson, Rob,
Alyssa. No, not Amy. Stephanie.
Huh?
Oh, Stephanie and Branson. They had that weird switcheroo.
Yeah. But they weren't the first. I think Branson was up there in the first 5. And Jamil was up there in the first 5 because I was watching them getting up on the platform. And
who I first saw get up there was Alyssa with her yellow.
Yeah, Alyssa was the first one up there.
Don't know how she did it, and she had a really high case too.
Yeah, so I was like, Dawson did the right thing because I said, if whoever has the million, if you don't own up to it, you're literally saving the other 10 or 11 people right now. Because I'm going to take one of those other cases.
Right.
And it would have been Rob, Alyssa. Can you imagine if I had if Dawson doesn't admit and I steal Rob's case?
And he was bottom 2 with Aaron.
It would have put Rob and Aaron in the bottom 2 episode 1.
And then who would you put Aaron or who would go up against the banker that night?
At that point, we didn't know how it was going to work at Temple. We hadn't been to the banker's temple yet. Right. I more than likely would have put Rob in.
Ooh.
Because even if Rob lost to the banker or if Rob beat the banker, he wouldn't have been able to eliminate me because I would have been immune.
Yep.
Man, just all these little different scenarios.
Right. I love scenarios. I like talking through all of it is so fun because it's all of the what ifs, it's all the hypotheticals.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about what actually happened.
Yes.
And that's the final temple.
Yes.
Y'all are there. I was like, oh my God, everyone's there. Yay.
It was nice to be with everybody again.
It was so fun.
Well, I want to ask your reactions, both of you, when you found out that it was Jordan that was facing the banker. Oh, or should I just say Howie Mandel, which we all knew from the beginning, of course, because of course it was going to be Howie, of course. But what were your thoughts going into seeing Jordan in the temple and then the entire experience that was her battle against the banker? Because it was probably the most dramatic one of the season. Maybe second to maybe yours, Kim, because yours was very like, whoa, what's happening? Oh, goodness. But
yeah. Go ahead, Miranda.
Honestly, I have videos and pictures of how I first reacted when I saw Howie. So when they would ask us throughout the game, I think even when I was up against the temple and the person was saying that I was making him jealous, I'm like, who is that? Like, is it a girl banker? Like it kind of threw me off, like really hardcore with that. So I was just always thinking, I was like, maybe it's Donald Trump. I was just like, maybe it's somebody named Frank. Yeah, because I was like a billionaire, and I was thinking Howie from the original Deal or No Deal. He's a germaphobe. He would never be here. If he was, he would be his own host. So I genuinely just didn't. And they did a lot of hints throughout the game with like the fireworks, doing like the America's Got Talent colors. And so they did do the hints and stuff. I was very, very close to Amy. So when I found out it was Jordan, I was so happy, but I was also so sad because Amy worked so hard, pushed herself so hard every day. I saw so much, and I really grew and was really strong with Amy. I had such a big bond with her. So it was super bittersweet, but knowing that it was Jordan, I was actually super happy as well. So it was two levels to it. I was very sad that, because I was really rooting for Amy. Even when I was out of the camp, I was just like in my head, like, let's do this, like she can do this. But when I found out it was Jordan, I was like, you know what, that's amazing, because I do know her story. She got married, and it is a lot of money to do fertility. And I mean, what's better than that? So I always thought about, their stories. And the first impression I got from everybody was the lasting impression. So if I got a bad impression from you from the beginning, there was no changing it throughout the game. There was no coming up and talking in my ear. You could talk for a whole hour, but I would still have that same perception of you. And that never changed through. And then that was a huge strategy for me, was I was never going to change how I felt about the person throughout the game. But with Jordan, it just stayed the same, and she didn't piss me off, and she was cool, and like,
she didn't piss anybody off.
She was just really cool. So like the fact that she won, I'm just like, I cried so hard. Oh my gosh. It was before Amy and them went to do the challenge, they told each other good luck. And you felt that like happiness for both of them, no matter what. I get chills talking about it. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was thrilled for Jordan. Absolutely. Like I said, I would have been so happy for either one of them, because, or any one of the three of them when they were down to the final three. But Jordan, I had the bed right next to Jordan. So I woke her up more than once because she likes to sleep in. And they had us up. It's like, okay, Jordan, got to get up. And then she would make the bed. So, and tie back our mosquito nets. She did all that. I was thrilled for her to be able to go play the banker. And I don't know if you were there, Miranda. You know how we had a chance to get something to eat before we went to the Banker's Temple, and we're down in the restaurant in our hotel?
Yes. And, oh my gosh, yes.
Okay. So I knew that Stephanie was out, and I knew that Rob was out, because I ate with Stephanie there.
Yep. And Rob too.
And I wrote down, okay, it's like, what number would you take? What number would you take? And
we did a lot of that.
Exactly. And I said, same one I would take from the beginning, which was 18. That's my birthday.
Oh.
Right. And when I went against the banker, I did not take 18, which ended up there was no 18 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I took 5 because that's my least favorite number. And I wanted a low amount in my case so that I was beating the banker. So I picked my least favorite number when I played the banker, but I kept saying I would take 18. I would take 18. We got there, and Alyssa, I'm sitting between Jamil and Alyssa. And I kept saying, after she had already picked 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying, I hope she doesn't pick 18. Don't pick 18. Don't. And she didn't. And then she picks 18, and it was the 13 million. And I was like, but I didn't want her to pick 18 because the offer would have kept going up.
Yeah.
As long as that 13 million was in play, that offer was going to go up.
Absolutely.
So that made me sad. That
13 million, more than any reality game show ever. Am I right?
Yeah.
13 well, until this year with Squid Game's challenge.
No.
But
4.52 million.
How much was Squid
Game?
Oh,
wait, nope, you're right. There was 4 point. Yeah,
4
you're
million.
right. Yeah, it was 4.52.
I was about to say, who else is 13?
Oh, yeah, 13 million is a lot.
And that's because we all built that pot.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So it was moments, like, we could have done, like, there was an episode with Rob. Like, he didn't build the pot in one episode. He put it, like, what, $49,000?
When he played the banker, because he bailed early. But that's part of the strategy of the game, too.
That's what you got to do.
He wanted to make sure that he went out on a low offer with hopefully his case being higher than that.
Yeah, which it worked. I was actually so surprised the fact that he took a low offer and actually still beat the banker, taking a $49,000 offer because every other temple that you see us do, we're like $200,000 offer. That's trash. No, he's doing a low ball, you know. Right. So to take $49,000 for an offer,
which was what? Do you remember after I played the banker and Claudia and Rob were giving me so much shit because I only banked $225,000 into the pot, and they were like, after Aaron got $600,000, I can't believe that you didn't go to the end to build that pot more, and they were giving me so much crap. Rob and Claudia's combined was less than mine.
Yep.
And I was like, no, we don't get to do that.
What was Claudia's? What did she build?
149,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they gave her a personal. They tried to give her an offer too, right?
Yeah.
And she denied it. And she wanted to build the pot, and she kept going. Yeah.
Yep.
But
exactly.
So Jordan's first offer, she went and after she picked her case, it was $200,000 plus for her first offer.
Right.
And she turned it down.
Right.
As she should.
Right decision. Absolutely.
Right decision to do so. And then she opened her next 5 cases. And her second offer was $602,000. $602,000. And she was struggling right there because she was like, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Like, we sit here watching the show and we see a pot of $13 million. And when somebody is offered $602,000.
Right. And that's to take home. That's not to build the pot no more.
Right. That's to take home. Yes. And so now you're like, but it's still $13 million. Yeah, but I'm like, but that's $600,000 that she gets to walk away with that is going to help her family. So I understood the struggle because I was struggling with her. And I was like, man, put myself in the position of this is my money. This is my money that I'm going to walk away with. I would not be so quick to be like, shut down $602,000. But she did. And she was like, I'm going to go on.
Yep.
And she had to open up 3 cases after that.
And I thought that was the right decision, too, for her to go on because of the number of cases that were left on the left and the number of cases on the right and only having to pick 3. Yeah. Even if she took out 3 from the right-hand side of the board, she would have still had 2 more up there.
Exactly.
And she ended up with her next offer was $1,197,000. And when they start getting into the millions, you be like, ooh,
right? And then she decided.
Like, I don't care if it's just 1 million or 13 million. Anytime it get into the millions, I'm like, oh Lord, I ain't never had $1 million given to me at any point in my life. So now I'm like, she was like, this is a lot. This is a lot.
She was thinking about the taxes. She's like, I gotta go, man. I gotta make sure I get the taxes paid.
Right.
Absolutely. And so, but she said no, which I still kind of think was the right decision.
I agreed. I agree with it.
But that next offer was like, what, $5
off? It was
1.23.
30.
Yeah, she got 123.
And I was like,
it was only a little bit more.
It was $100 more, but
hey, she did it.
She had knocked out the 13 million then. For that last offer.
Her cushion was no longer there.
Right.
So it was like, once you lost your cushion,
take the million.
Take the million.
And she had 4.5 and 5 still up there. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why it didn't drop. It went up, but barely.
I was on the edge of my seat. That was a tough game.
But she had 4 on the left-hand side.
Yeah. And when she took the deal, I was like, I ain't mad at you, girl. Take that 1.230 and go on home and make your babies. Like, you boo, because that was
celebrated for sure. We had that was the first time that we had like one night together that all of us, Amy, Jordan, because all of us, while we were out in camp, they were still at camp. So we were out there having some steak and lobster while they're over there fighting for their lives. So when we had one whole night together, it was so awesome to finally,
oh my God.
I was showing Jordan the streets. Hey, Jordan, like down the street, like all over the place and the places where to eat, and Amy too, because Amy was wanting her wine the whole time. She finally got her glass of wine.
Good.
Got her
pizza. Rob and Stephanie too, because
they did see all that.
They didn't get to go out at all. The four of them.
Stephanie was, exactly. She stayed all the way. She had to be sequestered when she got back to her room until the finale.
Yeah, she and Rob both.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
That's
so
wild.
They didn't get too much traveling time or exploring time outside of the game.
We went out. We took the water taxis and we tore it up out there.
We did. Hey, Kim is fun to hang out with, guys. So fun, man. We had such a blast. We went to chocolate tours on catamarans, water bars. They're like floating bars. Snorkeling.
Oh, that's so fun.
Dolphins. Yeah, it was great.
No, we had Bankers Island. So much fun.
So Jordan takes the week, the 1.2. She wins. Everybody celebrated, was so happy. And so the banker wants to know if he made a good deal or if she made a good deal. And she opened up that 19 case and it was $1,000. I was like, oh my God. You
made a great deal.
The best deal ever.
I got chills thinking about it all over again because we were in that moment. Like, we weren't watching it from the screen at that time. We were literally living in it. And it was just, oh my gosh, such a magical moment, because when you see somebody that you actually respect and care for and love win, you have a happy cry. It's an ugly cry, and then like we're out celebrating. It's just, you look at that person and you're just so proud of them. And even with Aaron and everybody, Alyssa, and all those people that really went through so much in this game, the fact that we could all come out of the game and just still be laughing and talking about like, hey, you threw me under the bus, and talking game talk. And it's really nice that we can all bond like that still.
Yeah. Good.
So overall, I want to wrap this up with this. Overall, I'll start with you, Kim. Overall, your experience on this show, what do you think? What was your overall experience? And would you do it again? I think I asked you that in the interview, but
it was a phenomenal experience. The production company, NBC, everybody was so professional, and they made the experience a great experience. the cast that we were paired with. I mean, talk about a diverse, ranging from 25 to 62,
Right.
and every color of the rainbow and every personality and diverse backgrounds of how people had been raised, that all comes into who you are as an adult. Right. And so it was really, truly amazing playing with this. And then knowing while we were there playing, of course, seeing the drama that, happened and came out. And I remember walking away going, there's no doubt in my mind that this will get renewed. This will be back for season 2, and it's going to be back for season 2 because of what happened on season 1. And that's exactly what happened.
Agreed.
I could not have asked for a better experience. Would I come back and do it again? I doubt that they'll have returning players anytime soon until they have all-stars. And I already told the executive producer, it's like, you can't wait 7 or 8 years for all-stars because, honey, I'll be 70. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
Right.
But I hope there is all-stars. I hope I get to root for season 1 people if I'm not in it. And I can't wait to see how the show is going to evolve and what's going to come next, because it will not be the same as this year, for sure.
No, and they have a bunch to go off of with us. So season 2, I'm going to see a bunch of them. They might mock some of our personalities or strategies, so it's going to be kind of cool to see how season 2 comes and sees, like, maybe there might be something that somebody does that all of us are like, oh my God, why didn't we think of that? So it's going to be interesting.
And you never know, there might be an Orger in there somewhere. And if they do, I'm fully prepared for someone to go, oh my God, Kim came in playing hot and hard and fast right from the start. I've got to make sure I don't do that, things like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping like a really crazy blindside season 2, like maybe like an Aaron and Rob duo, but like at the end there's like a blindside, or like
they cut your final 2. I would love that.
Well, not like Alyssa did super early, try to cut Aaron. That's a little early.
Right. Okay, but do it better than this week's Survivor.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
Right. Miranda, what's your overall thoughts about this show?
I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to top it. I mean, I just turned 30. I was whisked away to a banker's island. I was able to keep my job, so I didn't have the worry of losing my job, as some people did. Amy, Kim, they had lost their job just for this show. So I did come feeling a little bit more, less worried. And the fact that everything was taken care of, everything was paid for. If you had medical, you were tended to. They did your laundry. They changed your sheets on your, you would come back and you would have your laundry in a bag with your name on it. If something was broken, they would fix it. So they really took care of everything for us. And I've never felt as amazing and healthy as I have being with them. I felt like a goddess out there. So I miss that part of me. I really do hope that I'm able to come back to that part of me, because it was the best experience of my life. And coming back home and being a pest control technician, that is a part of me. But I also want to do like more challenges and just challenge myself. So anybody who doesn't think that they have what it takes, I really compel them to go and try out season 2. I was a pest control technician. Nick was a Nick was a garbage man. So like
still is.
Like, so you don't have to be a physics or a professional athlete to get on this show. You don't have to have this awesome profession. You just have to have that personality and know what you want, and just, you got to play to win. So I hope anybody can at least try to apply. You'll never know unless you try. I mean, one day everyone asks me, what made you do it? And to me, it was like, I just wanted more excitement in my life. And why not?
Absolutely.
And fun fact, you guys, the final two, Amy and Jordan,
Right.
they were alternates.
Oh, wow.
They got changed to main cast when they got to the Panama.
We were literally in Panama, and all of a sudden, Amy and Jordan are part of the cast.
Wow.
Which means two alternates or two main people that did come to Panama were traded as an alternate. I can't imagine. I'm sorry.
They became alternates. That's why Amy didn't have her makeup and stuff, because she's like, I'm just an alternate. And she didn't have all her stuff with her. But so you just never give up. Even sitting on the island, you never give up because they literally see chemistry and stuff between people, and they'll make a change like that to get that right chemistry on screen.
Yeah, they told, the casting director said, hey, Miranda, you're main cast, but if you get to the island, they have had a tendency, hey, if they don't want too many brown-headed women, they're going to switch them out. So you never know what happens. And you could be an alternate. As soon as they meet you and they see your personality, they put you right on in. So if you have that unique personality.
Hi, Peaches. I just always thought it was so funny, though, that the final two were the alternates that got brought in.
Which is it's a great story for season 1, because it shows people, please do not self-doubt yourself. Like,
exactly,
just play to win, and you can't win the lottery if you don't. And I can't tell people more enough than to just at least apply.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. We're going to wrap this up because we got other things we got to do. But we thank you all for coming and talking about this finale with us, because honestly, it would have just been me and Logan talking about our boring finale by ourselves. But now we got the two of you here to spice it up. So we appreciate you being here and talking all things Deal or No Deal Island finale. It was a great season. You both made it amazing. Everybody on this cast made it amazing. I can't wait for season 2 to start.
And I would love to talk about season 2 with you guys when it does start.
Please, of course.
Yeah, I think that would be
anytime y'all want to come back and talk of season 2 with us, we will love that.
And by the way, and how excited are all of us when Jordan whipped out the ultrasound picture?
Yes.
I was already.
I literally screamed and cried.
I was already crying. Come on.
It literally said 5 months later, and I was like, oh, it happened. I was like,
did it happen? Did it happen? And when she whipped it, I was like, oh. I screamed and cried.
We were all beside ourselves going, oh my God, Jordan. And then I'm looking back through my pictures in New York going, was she showing it all? Right. I was sitting right next to her at dinner that one night.
Yeah, she was covered up. We did notice there were moments where we went drinking. She didn't go drinking. So it all does make sense.
Yeah.
For sure. And hey, we'll see if Stephanie, delivers her baby. I don't know.
Right.
Never know.
I love that. I would love that. Like that would
be so incredible.
Stop it. Stop it. I can't even take
it.
To be continued.
To be continued. Like, y'all story is not over.
And you guys, and if you want an update on Stephanie and the birth sanctuary, you can actually go on and look up the birth sanctuary in Alabama. She and her husband, Pitmaster Jamie, he's a barbecue guy, right? They bought a house from 1839. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And look up the history of midwifery, because it had so much relevance to slavery days, right? And lack of medical care for pregnant women, for newborns, very high mortality rate. Alabama, highest mortality rate in the country still to this day.
Oh, wow.
But they bought this pre-Civil War house and have essentially gutted it, except for like stone fireplace, things like that. They've got everything. They did all the drywall is all done. The flooring is done. They just got the tile work done in the delivery bathroom shower area. That part's done. They sold bricks imprinted bricks that is now the walkway leading up to the front of this house.
Oh.
They built a second floor, like a balcony upstairs, so that people can go outside. They've got a kitchen in there now for.
You said 1800s?
1839 is
so
when
did they get like? Did they bless the house? Is there silver word?
They've done so much. Oh my God! And yesterday,
you gotta make sure there's no ghosts in that house.
Jamie just got on yesterday, and they just cleared out what will be the parking lot of it. And so the updates on this are phenomenal. If you follow her on Instagram, she does live videos of going in and seeing what they did today.
Hey Kim, is that her being subscribed? Do you have to be subscribed to see her stuff, or is it?
No, you can subscribe, and she does some kind of behind the scenes stuff of what's going on, because right now she's battling the lawmakers again.
Right.
In Alabama,
that is a fight.
She has literally had to jump through hoops for all this stuff. But if anybody's watching tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, go to Facebook to Survivor Vanquish.
Woo!
They are running a 3-night mini from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock Eastern time. 3-night mini, fans versus favorites. Miranda is playing.
Ooh.
I am playing. Aaron is playing. And Steph was supposed to be playing, but she had to go up to the Indian reservation to take care of babies up there. Do her midwifery stuff up there. And then there's 4 from Survivor. Raymond from Australian Survivor. Michaela Bradshaw.
Ooh.
One of my favorites ever.
One of my favorites.
Okay, Michaela's playing. Abraham is playing.
Oh, good.
I love Abraham. And who's the other one? I can't remember now. I went blank.
No.
There's one more survivor. And then there's 8 fans that are playing. And so that'll be tonight. But if you go to the Facebook page, okay, you can buy your fantasy draft. And it's like, I want to say it's like $10 or something.
Okay.
Where you can buy your fantasy draft. All this money goes to Make-A-Wish or to the specified charities. I'm playing for St. Jude's. And 75% of mine will be going to St. Jude's. 25% of mine is going to the birth sanctuary. I had to do my calculation. And Miranda, who are you playing for?
So my charity is the leprosy organization.
Wonderful.
People who they suffer from leprosy, and it's literally like the easiest. Like there's medications. It leads to disabilities. A lot of it's taken care of in America, but a lot of it's in different countries, and it's just it can be contagious, and so it just needs to be taken care of. And I think it's just such a small organization that needs some light.
Absolutely.
Okay, so those are the charities we're playing for. I know Michaela's playing for Make-A-Wish because she told me that. But yeah, so and anybody who is not going to Over the Edge, which used to be Give Kids the World, that money for them with this mini is automatically going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So everything, there's going to be auctions all weekend with autographs and pictures and Zoom calls and all that good stuff. Right. So definitely tune in, watch it, support your favorite players, support your messy players.
Kim, Martina.
Same.
I love that. I can't. I'm gonna have to tune in and watch that because
please,
I love watching it mini.
It's Survivor Vanquish, VANQUISH. On you can just search it in Facebook and go there. Yeah.
Well, we will definitely do that and do all the things, y'all. We subscribe to this channel, subscribe to all of our channels. Go to the links below and see all the channels that we have. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll have moments from this video and others on our socials. Also, you can follow the 4 of us if you want on Twitter and Instagram. We see
go ahead. I need all the follows I can get.
We see
right,
it. We
right there.
Come
on.
We
need the
I am
followers.
at Martina on everything.
We need the look. We need the followers. You heard the ladies. We need them. So get the followers and go down. Keep scrolling. Get your cup merch.
Oh, get your merch. Get
your merch because I need the support.
Look
so
at
support the merch.
Support the merch. Get the cup merch.
I need to get the merch.
Yeah, say we have cups or any other things, sports bottles, hats, shirt, stuff. So
and I love your logo.
And so check that out. And cheers, y'all. We'll be
cheers.
Again. Thank you guys so much for having us on.
Thank you.
That's awesome. We appreciate the support.
I know. I'm so sorry I wasn't presentable. I was working all day. So.
You look beautiful.
You are all good.
Always looks great.
Always.
Wonderful.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Thank you. Love you, Logan. Love you, Lana.
Bye.